the shunt release and allows trains to come in just into our exchange line up to 21 disc. 61 gives the main aspect, and obviously we have to have the road set and all the way up to 60 signal. You've got to be a little bit careful because there's route locking. So once you give him 61, if you give him 61, that does there's route 6. So you'll end up locking the route all the way up to 60 until the back of the train is cleared, Alpha Golf track. So if you have a light engine that's only coming into the exchange sidings and you clear 61 slot for it, you'll end up locking yourself up.
Yeah, you've got to run him right down.
You have to run him either dropping up there, or you set him back into the carriage works, which will clear the route stick anyway. So, but even so, it's a bit of an embarrassment for the signal involved. So you have to make sure you know what you're letting in. If it's longer than the exchange siding, you have to give him 61. If it's shorter, then you can just give him 50. Obviously, passenger moves, you have to give him the main slot.
So 50 and 61 are signals, is it?
50 and 61 are slots on these two signals here. There's an Outlet Rails Delta Romeo 9836 and 5834 signals. So they're just our slots on those.
So who paid for the work?
Network Rail.
Did they ask you? Did they ask you, or did you ask them?
The King and Castle is a very good meeting place, don't you think?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know, because I wasn't the signal engineer when that happened. John Phillips was the signal engineer. Obviously, it was a necessity. Obviously, the closure of Kidderminster Junction box was a big catalyst in making these changes, and I believe that there was a need for arrangements to be improved, because when Kidderminster Junction box was open, it was just a disc into exchange siding, so it really wasn't a passenger move. And there was a business case for running more charters on and off Network Rail, and so it had to be brought up to passenger standards. So I assume that was the catalyst for that. There obviously had to be changes because of the closure of Kidderminster Junction box. Because you can obviously pull 13. You've got at this end of the frame, you've got the motor points, which are 14, which is where the loop and the main line meet before they become a single line towards Hughley. 13 is the disc signal at those points, and that has to interlock with signals going that way, and it depends, especially the discs. So disc. Each of the discs out of the engine lines can read either, this one especially can read 3 ways, the one on the other engine line can read 2 ways. So it depends whether the is set. Yeah, so you've got a lot of conditional locking. Conditions on conditions, you know, but it's, I mean, John Phillips, who designed it, obviously knew what he was doing. So all praise to him. And it took a bit of testing. I was involved with the testing. John Madeley, I think, if you knew John Madeley, he was one of the locking testers from down the west. We all did it on a day. He came along and he got his. I was ticking the locking chart, and he was calling out the levers, and it was great fun. I don't know if you know the layout of these sort of frames. You've got the electric locks. You've got 42 ohm standard Western region electric locks. This happens to have 2 LCC contacts. Most of them only have 1. but or sometimes you need two. This one actually has got two, but only one of them is in use. So
that proves it's de-energised, does it? Or
it does, yes. At the moment, that one is energised because the lever's reversed. Oh, it's not. It's because it's an FPL and the lever's normal, so it's not energised,
No,
but
so
it's not locked.
Yeah.
So the contacts are not made.
Yeah.
And then associated with those, sometimes you've got a contact box underneath, but then this one, for example, is a contact box, but no electric lock. And we've got quite a few combined lock and circuit controllers as well, mostly on point machines. We've got 4 SG point machines, one of which is the single line connection, and that way 14 points. You've got the buffer stop end of the platform 2, if you've got a double-ended, and you've also got a bit of a bastardised version out here, which is some deraillers which are worked by an HP point machine. Right, any questions? Well, the relay room, anyone know Tony Cottrell?
Yeah.
He basically built that from bits of